HISD has recently developed the Global Graduate Profile. It contains 6 qualities we want all our students to develop. Here to explain those global graduate profiles and its implementation is our Secondary Curriculum and Development Officer, Annie Wolfe, Davis High School Principal, Julissa Alcantar-Martinez, Chief Elementary and Curriculum Development Officer, Lance Menster, and Shadydale Elementary Principal, Tammie Daly. I am very happy that you decided to come and share with our viewership what the Global Graduate Initiative is and what it looks like. We'll start with you, Annie, and I'm going to ask you to help us to kind of understand what the Global Graduate Profile looks like. We know the first quality is a leader, and the second one is a critical thinker. So can you tell us a little bit about what that translates to for our learners?
Sure. When we think about our learners as being leaders, we expect them to be able to work collaboratively with others in class, also lead others by example, and help coach others through change. And then when you think about critical thinking, you think about digging deeper and going outside of the box. And so things like being able to do research using technology, and also to be able to conduct interviews, and just to be innovative in their learning.
And we know that part of their future includes being college ready. Can you tell us about that third characteristic?
Sure. College ready, of course, would include the grit that it takes to be academically successful. But then we also expect them to start thinking about what careers they may want to accomplish post K-12, and then how that would relate to their goal setting while they're in our school system.
Lance, can you tell us a little bit about the other 3 characteristics that are set up as part of the profile, and how those 6 characteristics came to be the ones that were chosen for this particular initiative?
So one of the things that's really important as we think about the graduate profile and all of these characteristics is that certainly we want our students to master the content and curriculum at each grade level and content area, but also it gives us an opportunity to really think about the whole child and the soft skills that are needed. So when a child moves to the next grade level and most importantly graduates from an HISD high school, that they have the knowledge and skills and dispositions in place in order to be successful in college, career, and frankly life. And so as we think about the characteristics of being adaptable, that it's critically important that our students have the skills and that we work with them so that they're flexible and they're adaptable in the classroom after school and can take these skills out with them into the community and their homes. I think the other piece that's really important is that communication is a key characteristic of the global graduate. And we talk about how the ability to read, write, speak, and listen is so critically important one-on-one in the classroom, with a friend, on the playground, or applying for a loan application or applying for a job. And as we think about literacy by 3 and our goal of our students being able to read on or above grade level by grade 3 and literacy across the content area and into secondary, communication is critically important in order for us to mold those pieces in our classrooms, but also for our students. It's important to note, as we developed the graduate profile, it was actually a year-long process. We engaged industry leaders, educators, university professors, community leaders, parents, and even had conversations with students. And we asked this question: what do you think is critically important that when a child graduates from HISD, what are the knowledge, skills, and dispositions that they need to have in place in order to be successful in college, career, and life? And you know what was interesting? That you would almost think you might hear something different from a parent or a community leader or an industry experts, but frankly, we all heard the same things. So these 6 characteristics, granted there were a lot of those that weren't necessarily directly communication, but all fell into those themes. And so through this huge process of gathering feedback, having deep conversations, we feel very, very proud that as we think about an HISD graduate, that we really have something strong in place with a lot of community input that really, really firmly gives us the stamp of approval that we can make this happen and that our HISD graduates will have these skills in place.
Well, it sounds like certainly those 6 characteristics align directly with what our 21st century students are going to need in order to succeed when they leave our district. So that is very on target, and I'm certainly glad to see that we did the evolution of what a student would look like so that we can align ourselves with what they need. Julissa, can you tell us how the graduate profile will be used in the secondary classrooms at your high school, which is Davis High School?
So one of the big things that we say a lot at our school is if you're at our school, you need to be engaged with something because you have to have a purpose at our school. So we really worked hard on our culture with all of our extras because, I mean, we would love to believe that everybody comes for algebra, but we know they come for band and athletics and so forth. So our students are learning to be leaders. They're learning to talk and they're learning to work together as teams no matter what program they're in or what different aspect of school they attend. So another big deal with our school is getting our kids to start looking at college from 9th grade and not waiting till 12th grade. So we hired an additional college access coordinator on campus to be able to help our kids apply for different programs throughout their 9th and 10th grade years so they know what it takes to fill out an application, what it takes to go interview for a scholarship to go to Panama or to go to California. They learned how to be declined because that hurts. And when you're a 12th grader and you have your mind set on one school and it doesn't happen and you've never been turned down, it's hard. So we wanted them to feel that and to be able to kind of grow from that and make their essays better and make their scholarship conversations stronger. Also our one-to-one. With Power Up, our students have been able to get everything at their fingertips. I mean, they're going to tell you, yes, we're distracted because it's a new tool, but at the same time, they can now word process from home. They can go to a local area restaurant and use their Wi-Fi and get connected and do research. They have conversations with their brothers and sisters. So it's gone to a deeper level. And with our, you know, with all of our community members, they see all of our kids with their laptops as they're walking through the streets, and they see them working on stuff everywhere. So it's become a pretty big deal. Like, I can get engaged, I can be involved. It's not the haves and have-nots as much anymore.
That's wonderful. Tammie, as an experienced educator and principal yourself, at the lower school level, what programs do you have in place to address this global graduate initiative for our little ones?
Well, we have the opportunity to have the fun side of helping to develop these characteristics. In addition to a rigorous math and reading program and all of the programs that the district has allowed us to embed within that, we help our kids to set educational goals. Every child has a goal tracker and they personally set their own goal for success. We also teach them about backwards planning. They set their goal. They work with their teacher to help determine how they're going to reach that goal. When they do achieve it, just the excitement in their eyes is truly practice. So as they plan, they set their goals, they achieve their goals, we want them to be able to transition that into lifelong learning so that at the end of the 12th grade, they can walk across that stage and have the power to do what they want to do with their lives.
Annie, there are more layers to the graduate profile. Please talk about those and how it includes our teachers and principals.
As we talk through the HISD graduate, we start there with what are these qualities that we expect students to have in this district. And then we backwards map and say, okay, well then how do we train teachers? Then we go even further and say, how do we train leaders to be able to set up environments where we cultivate this type of a learner? So we've actually gone even further than the HISD student graduate profile, and we actually have 6 teacher competencies and 6 leader competencies, and we develop professional learning around those goals to make sure that all of our students have opportunities to develop those 6 areas in the classrooms in our district.
Thank you very much for the work you're doing around this.